women that have stood out that, it's just me, but maybe I'm speaking for the four of us up here. Women that have stood out are the ones that have consistently figured out how to keep it fresh. Because there's oftentimes the moment where you realize that somebody gets complacent and you're like, well, I don't want my own life and my own journey to be of complacency, so you sort of lose attraction to a girl that's giving that same vibe. So a lot of the girls that have made it, and a lot of guys that have made it with those girls, are probably trying to find something pretty fresh. Complacency becomes something that's, real bad.
You got to create more first times. The first time you do anything is the funnest time. So you could do first times with the same woman. You just got to do a lot of first time stuff.
There's something called the honeymoon period, and it statistically lasts for about 2 to 3 years. And so if you've been in a relationship longer than that, the honeymoon period of all the, where you're really trying every day to be cute, you're trying every day to look nice, as a man, you're doing things like leaving notes and bringing flowers, that kind of trails off. You got to keep doing all that stuff. You got to keep treating a relationship as if it's new and fresh, and it can stay new and fresh.
Are the rules different if you had sons? Are the rules different for your son as opposed to your daughter?
100%.
What rules? The rules on how you are to treat their significant other.
For me, what the rules on how you treat your significant other.
Do you give your son a different speech when he's ready to get out there?
Yeah. My son's job is a lot different than my daughter's job. My son's job is to take care of her sister so he can practice taking care of his girl. So, so he can have a daughter that wants to be taken care of by a real man. A man's job is to go hunt. A man's job is to fight. A man's job is to bring the food home and make his woman feel safe. It's a different set of rules for a woman. For a man, he has to be prepared not to show certain weaknesses in certain moments, but to have compassion for certain things. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to teach a man what his responsibility is as a man, and what a woman's responsibility is as a woman, and what a man's responsibility is to protect the woman. Men build muscle. Women don't have testosterone to build muscle.
I would agree. I would say, yeah. I mean, I think, it's a misnomer to think that fairness and equality are the same thing. Equality is often a funny thing when people talk about it, because in reality, Russ, it's not an egalitarian or equal world. It's just not. You can be as fair as possible, but men and women are not equal. It does not mean that men are better than women. It does not mean that women are smarter than men, but they're not equal. They have different columns of strength. So
women are way stronger.
I think as a son and as a daughter, you would approach it different, naturally.
Yeah, so would all of you subscribe to the fact that women are much smarter than men?
Smarter,
yes,
for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
100%, and I would say at a very deep, intrinsic, soulful level, much stronger than men. A man couldn't deliver a child. We could never be in childbirth. There is a physical strength that we have where Mack trucks could run over us and we'd be okay. But there's a level of strength that's deep down inside that women have that men don't have. And I wish that women would find that strength again, because there's so many women walking around that are unaware of that strength.
Yeah. A woman has to go through once a week of complete pain every month and look forward to it again every 3 weeks. She has to make a baby. She has to go through so many different things. As a man, you can't even relate to what a woman has to go through.
And emotionally intelligent. Emotionally intelligent women are much more emotionally in touch with how they're feeling. And that's why when I write these records, I'm trying to fill in the gap for the brothers.
And we recognize it as artists, even Dame going from art to business or vice versa, whatever. We recognize as artists that we are a little different from the average man who is not as emotionally connected or as bright. We know we're emotionally bright, and so oftentimes communication with us is really complex, because we go from logical and pragmatic and very male-like, and then we can go to a level of thinking like a woman, which is really complex.
Do you guys believe in women's intuition?
Sure.
Because a lot of times, women know when you're lying.
Yeah.
When you don't even think that you're lying, but you know you're lying because you're so used to lying, but they know it before you even know that you're lying. They know the next word's coming out of your mouth. So do you buy into women's intuition?
Do you buy into it, Russ?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
100%.
100%.
Eric?
I mean, even like physiologically, there's a part in the brain, I mean, not to get all like physical and medical and stuff, but there's a part of the brain in a woman's brain that deals with emotions, detecting, communicating, and being able to just identify her emotions. That part in your brain is bigger than ours. So, I mean,
I think
you
it's
just...
called gray matter. Eric.
Yeah, exactly.
Gray matter.
So when it comes to understanding you know, where somebody is coming from emotionally, what they need emotionally, how to communicate what's going on in your own self and your own mind emotionally. Like women are just like, we're like 8 years old and women are like grown-ass women. So, I mean, yeah, and part of the women's intuition is part of that, you know, heightened sense of being able to pick up on emotions.
It's almost like some women are psychic, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they can predict the future. They know, you know, and that brings up another question here. Do you allow your woman to have your passcodes on your phone and your computers?
Yeah, I'm married, man.
Are you uncomfortable? I mean, you're in a committed relationship. Should your woman be able to answer your phone?
Oh, yeah, my woman can answer my phone anytime she feels like it. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you know, I'm not disagreeing with Eric or Dame, but I think that it is very telling if that has to be in the relationship. Looking at each other's phone, the passcode, it's, you know, a lot of people do it. I mean, how many marriages have failed because of phones and technology now?
I think if you are cheating, you shouldn't let your woman go through your phone.
That was a logical response.
Great.
That wasn't from emotion. Dame was giving y'all logic. A plus B equals, don't let her look at the phone.
Well, it's getting to the point now that, you know, women don't want you to go through their phones either. Because we have a tendency to try to evaluate what is meant in this social media world. You know, one word can mean something different. And then you have to explain that. And I think that's why a lot of people don't really want to share that information. Omari Hardwick, if you're walking down the street and a woman comes up to you and she asks you just to do her a favor, any favor, and this is one of these questions, would you be willing to do that? Because I know you personally, I know you got a big heart, but just a stranger coming up and asking you to do them a favor.
I mean, I guess it depends on what the favor is.
Well, did I have sex with them on the sidewalk? No.
Is it people around watching?
We roll camera, we got a filmmaker right here.
So you asking if a girl asked me to have sex with her, would I do it to her?
No, not necessarily sex, just a favor.
He's saying just a
Just
favor.
someone to come to you, because you guys are all big stars. You're all big stars.
Yeah, my propensity would be I would listen. I'm definitely by nature somebody would go, what do you want? While I might have a couple friends like, oh, come on, let's go. I'm probably gonna stop and go, what is it? So, I mean, if that answers somewhat, I'm definitely gonna adhere to what she's asking at least.
Yeah, everybody on this stage is an artist. And, you know, and I think just as artists, we just, naturally, we're benevolent people. We just wanna help people and lift people up. And yo, if it's something I can do for you, I'll do it if I can.
I would say, is it something that me and my girl could do together? To, you know, and that would be that. So if we can't, then we can't do it.
I would be open. I'd be open to it, but you know, because because of the position that we're in, I think that
Yeah, it depends on what it is.
I wouldn't do it without some investigation.
I'm not doing nothing without my girl.
You know, depends on what is the favor. You know.
That's my answer.
I know we touched on religion a little bit, and my Lenovo has a question on here about what is a man's role in bringing prayer back to the family?
Huge.
I got the biggest blessing from my daughter last Sunday. I forget what city I was in, but my daughter texted me and she asked me, she said, who is the guy that the usher that opens the door at church? And I asked her, I said, well, why? She said, because I'm going today and I want to remember his name. I said, well, who are you there with? She said, I came by myself. Since my daughter was an infant, I've taken her to church with me. Take her and leave her in children's church. I mean, that's our thing. And it made me grateful to have that type. That's as black men, you know, whatever that spiritual thing is, we have to give that to them. They have to see that, you know, from us. It has to come from us. It can come from their mother too, but they need to know that we are engaged in that way, because my faith is my foundation. Without it, I don't know how.
All right, so we'll go from church.
I don't know how.
Sit down. All right, I have to ask one sex question. And my church folks, I'm just going by what's on here, and I'm gonna keep it as clean as I can. And I'm gonna ask you guys, if you don't want to answer it, you don't have to.
I ain't answering that, man.
Does Eric Benet make love with his shoes off? No, sorry, here's when making love to a woman, what is it that gets you there? What's important? Y'all need to know this. You don't want to know? Okay, I'll go to the next question then. You don't want to know? Anybody want to know the answer to that? These ladies in the front, And I don't blame you, because this is ratchet. You don't want to know what pleases a black man? Does anybody want to know what pleases a black man? Raise your hand. Who doesn't care to please a black man? Raise your hand. Okay. Well, don't blame me for these questions. I'm just trying to help out here. So I guess we'll avoid the sex questions. Sorry, ladies, y'all have to figure it out for yourself. I know you do. I want everybody to give a final parting comment that you'd like to make in our last 2 minutes here. Ding.
You know, real quick, this is about women. You know, my thing is invest in women. I believe you can always trust a woman. If you invest in her, she'll invest back. I believe that the way a woman treats you is the way you treat her. So to make better women, we got to be better men. And that's that. And thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak. Eric.
I just want to say, we're here because of you. We are the men that we are because of you. We look up to you. You are the glue that holds the family together. And thank you for an opportunity for me to just sit here and talk to you all.
I want to say that I am a fan of women, you know, and I think, no, seriously, I think that to be a fan is an underrated thing. I think that to like someone is underrated. I mean, there's a lot of love in life, and there's a lot of love in the room. You can't trust that many human beings, so to trust somebody is probably because you like them. And I would say that I like women, and that at one point in life, you guys have to get to a place, and I really challenge you on this, and I root for it, because I'm such a fan, where you like yourselves better, and you stop hating on each other. I mean, y'all gotta get better. I don't want that to be of a PSA tone, but I gotta be honest with you, men can beat the crap out of each other and then go have a beer with each other right after that. Y'all gotta get better at liking each other, you really do. Because we like y'all.
Kem?
My career was built on the love of black women, like the beautiful black women sitting in this room tonight. And my hope is that you are your star player. You got to be your own star player. My hope is that you love yourselves more. The love that you have for yourself is the most important thing. It starts there. I love you. God bless you. And we'll see you soon.
Please give a round of applause for Damon Dash, Eric Benet, my good friend Omari Hardwick and Kem.